Welcome. I'm hoping that everybody is being able to see me. Give me just a few moments here to get set up. There we go. I wanted to make sure that I could see the live on my laptop as well as on my screen here. Okay, so I'm Francine Wilson and I'm with Stamp Scrap Go. I know I haven't shown a lot of scrapbooking pages. Oh, you know what? I forgot my that on. So at least you can hear me. There we go. I know I haven't shown a lot of scrapbooking pages, but I'm going to try to work on that. I do a lot of cards and projects. So today we're going to look at Art Gallery, and that is a suite in our Spring Mini, and I'm going to send you down to my desktop. Let me get, whoop. Let me get my, there we go. So in this suite, there is a stamp set and dies, of course. There is this gold leafing, which can be used with the heat and stick powder, which has been brought back. And I'm not going to show you any of that today, but I am going to show you something with this designer paper and a little ribbon. And I'm going to show you a project as well as 2 cards. So this can be found on page 33 in the Spring Mini. And when you order $50 or more, you can get something from the free celebration catalog. There's Papers in Bloom, there's the Darling Donkeys, and I'll just show you the donkeys. Oh, where is it? There we go. The Darling Donkeys, the Heal Your Heart. There's lots of good sentiments in there. And Approaching Perfection. Lots of good sentiments, just a couple of images. And then A Touch of Ink. Lots of good sentiments on there, and they will fit your small punches and some of your small labels. And there's 2-step stamping here. So those are freebies in your celebration catalog. And let me see. Most of these items are $50. The Touch of Ink is actually $100 in sales. I'm thinking because it has so much going on with it that they chose to do that one. And then there's also, and I have this, but I don't have it down right now. Berry Blessings, you get the paper and the stamp set for $100 in sales. And then if you choose to join Stampin' Up, there is 200 papers that you're going to get. They're from all the color families and the in colors. And the kit is $99, and you get to choose $125 worth of product plus all of these 6x6 in color and color family papers. So that's almost $225 worth of product for $99 and free shipping. So this is the card we're going to make, and we're going to make a very simple card before that. So I'm going to get my, oh, I wanted to show you all of the product, of course. Let me get this stuff out of the way. So we have the paper, and as you can see, I've already started to use the paper, and it has some beautiful patterns, and on the other side are some more patterns, and that's gorgeous. And then I believe that's like, that one would be like for a scrapbook page. Ooh, I might have to make something out of that. And then there's this one too. I think that those would both make excellent scrapbook pages. All right, so I have all of that ready to cut. And then there is this foil paper. It's acetate, and you can see that it has two sides. And there's floral design, and of course there's that design. I'm not sure what that is, but it's a medallion of some sort. And we're going to be using some of that. Okay. And let's see here. Let's start with the simple card. Okay. The simple card is just paper and ink. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and crisp up my card. And because we are on photopolymer, we're going to use our Stampin' Pearson pad. And let's see, that way. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to use the solid one first, and I'm going to stamp off. Well, that didn't do very well. Let's see. Maybe because I didn't have my, okay, so I'm stamping off, and I'm going to put that one right there, and I'm going to do a second one. Okay. So, ooh, I don't want to get that all over me. Cleaning off my stamp. And then we're going to take the detail, and we're going to do that full strength. Gotta line it up. It's a little hard to do whenever you're not looking right at it. Okay. So we're gonna just stamp and ink. Okay, and then we're going to use Mossy Meadow for our leaf. I think I might need to ink up my pad again. There we go. And you do want to clean your stamps off right away because they will absorb the color. They're very porous. So that is simple stamping, just paper and ink. And I will do something about this rough edge. I'm not sure why it did that, but that's the quick one. Okay, so the next one is, of course, with this drapery panel. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to use the acetate. I'm going to use my embossing folder. I bring my big shot over. Sorry. My big shot is on a cart. And I'm going to run a piece of Whisper White. And I still am using Whisper White because that's what I have right now. I did order the basic white, so I will have some of that soon. But I'm going to use this embossing folder, and this is Painted Textures. So if you ink it up, it will have a design imprinted on it. But for right now, we're going to go ahead, and it is a 3D embossing folder. So I have the older Big Shot. So I am using my blue plate. Oh, wait, I'm using the wrong plate. Bear with me. I need to switch things out a little bit. Here, give me one sec. Because I use my magnetic plate 90% of the time. Okay. Let me run that through. There we go. And look at all that texture in that paper. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to use my Mossy Meadow, and let's go ahead and give that a fold, and then we're going to adhere this to the Mossy Meadow with Stampin' Seal. Okay. Center that on there. Now the next part is the fun part. Give me one second. I need to get this situated for my directions. Okay, so let me get this out of the way, and then there is the stamping part. So let's do the stamping part first. I'm again going to use the Poppy Parade. I think it makes a pretty picture. And we're going to stamp off, and we're going to stamp it down. And then we're going to use full strength for detail. And then little mossy meadow. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. That's full strength. Okay. And we are going to use a scalloped die cut from the Layering Ovals. Give me one sec. Set back up. Oh my goodness, what'd I do? This is what happens when you're not prepared, even though I thought I was prepared. Okay. So I'm going to run that through, and of course it's not going to capture the whole leaf and stem, but it is going to be beautiful. And I was using on my ovals, I was using this oval right here. So I would think that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so, okay. And then also with the art gallery, you get, if you buy the bundle, you're going to get these dies. And this says just want to say. Just want to say. And so then you have the floral, the leaves, the bundle, and a couple of dies left. And we're going to use this die for our sentiment. And our sentiment is, we're going to stick with the happy birthday, but I'm going to do it in green. I like that. Okay, so let me run that through. Kind of funny to do it on the cart, so to speak. I'll show you my cart here in a minute. Okay, so that's all the stamping. So now let's get to the actual folding. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the Score Pal. Let me get the ink out of the way. We don't want to stick our fingers in the ink. Also, if you use my host code, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, my let's move it over there. There you go. If you use my host code and you order $50 or more, you're going to be able to order from the celebration as well as get something a little bling from me. So for right now, this is 10 by 5. And the scoring is going to be, and of course I cut the paper the wrong way, but that's okay. The scoring is going to be 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, all the way down. So we're going to, and actually I'm going to flip it. We're going to go 1 inch, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 3, 4, 4 1/2, 5 1/2, 6, 7, 7 1/2, 8 1/2, and 9. And I'm using the bigger end of the stylus. Okay, and that is 1 1/2, or 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So it goes all the way across like that. All right. So then what we're going to do, actually, we need to bring the score back up. We need to mark our paper at the 4 1/2 and the 5 1/2. And you're going to do it at the top and the bottom. And then you're going to turn the paper and we're going to mark it at 2 and 3. And we're going to do the same thing up here, 2 and 3. And you're going to see why in one hot second. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set, I'm trying to see so that you can see it, set that mark and this first mark so that they're in the groove, and you're going to cut it. And you won't be able to see these marks. And then we're going to do the same thing right here. And then we're going to flip it and do the same thing. Mark and mark. And this is so that we have our even marks. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to fold mountain, valley, or valley, mountain, sorry, valley, mountain, valley, mountain. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm going to use my bone folder in just a few moments. mountain, valley, mountain, valley. Okay, so then we'll crease them up with the bone folder. And on the 1/2 inch side, we will put a little bit of tape right in the center. Come on. You know how these tape runners are sometimes. Okay. And that's to keep that down. So we're going to do that on the 1/2 inch side. If I can get mine to work. And if you happen to get a little glue on this side, you can always use your gum eraser to get rid of it. Okay, so and there you have the drapery fold. Okay, so we're back at this point right here. Now, since I've already put this on here, I'm actually going to put this across here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my seal, and I'm hoping you can see everything. And I'm going to put it right across the center as best I can. Oh. First, let me make sure this is going to fit. Yes. Okay. I want to make sure that I have a little fold over. Okay. That is not straight. Okay, let's try that again. It's a little difficult whenever your paper keeps fiddling around with you. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're going to take our tape and run it across, and we're going to put this on the center. Okay, so that's beautiful. And then we're going to use dimensionals. And I am using my leftover from the dimensional pack. I never waste anything. And we're going to go ahead, take those off, and we're going to place this in the center, and then the sentiment okay, the sentiment is going to go just below where the flower is. And there you have it. Quick and easy. aside from the folding and playing with the folds. It really is not a difficult card to make, and I will have this on my blog at stampscrapgo.com. I will have all the instructions, and I learned this fold by watching Frenchie, one of our multi-million dollars demonstrators. I learned that fold from her, and there you have it. Thinking of you. And I did this in Flirty Flamingo, and you can see the colors go well with the paper. So, all right, so we have our simple card and our 2 cards. And there you have it. All right, let's get on to the project. The project is a desk caddy, of which I made a little boo-boo on this one. I made it a little too big on this particular piece, but that's okay. We're going to fix that. I've got everything cut and ready to go. So what we're going to do, let me get my instructions over here. And this was actually from an old project done by Wendy Lee, and I'm going to use my my trimmer for my scoring. Okay, so again, this is really simple. On the long side, you're going to score at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4, and then you're going to flip it and score at 1 inch and flip it, and it says 5 1/2, but it is 1 inch. Okay, so I'm going to score all of my paper first, and then I'll show you how to put everything together. All right, and so this is actually 3 boxes, and I'm reading my directions, sorry. Okay, so on this piece, again, we'll have instructions on my blog. So on this piece, we're going to score on the long side at 3 and 4. So basically, you're giving yourself an inch. And then on the short side at 1, and it says 4, but it's actually 1. Okay. I must have missed a piece somewhere. We'll figure it out. And then we have the 3rd box, which is basically for your adhesive, your liquid adhesive. On the long side, we score at 3 and 4, and then you turn it and you score at 1 and it says 2 1/4, which equals to 1 on this side. So now we've got everything scored. All right, now is the time to put things together. And I may have to cut some more designer paper. All right, so first things first, we're going to cut our tabs. And you're going to cut here in the middle and wedge them so they don't have any bulk. And you cut right on the score line, and then you wedge it. And we're going to do that to all of, I need to turn those over because I keep getting my fingers stuck. And we're going to do that to all the boxes. And that, again, the wedge is to reduce your bulk when you're folding. There we go. Get rid of that if it will fall out. I still get nervous when I'm doing this. I've been doing it now for a couple of weeks, and you'd think I'd be over that. All right, let's get my DSP out of the way. Get rid of those. All right, now we need to tape up, and we're going to use tear and tape. And on the front side, we are going to tape here and here on the tabs, and then we're going to tape along the back. So this long part is the back. And then you're going to flip it, and you're going to put tape on the what will be the outside flaps. Wow, we have some serious wind going on here in Texas. And you're going to do this on all of the boxes. All right, so, well, you're not doing the back on all of the boxes. You're going to do that on the medium size. And I think I'm at the end of this roll. Let's get some more. Here we go, new roll. Okay, so you get a lot of tear and tape on this new roll. Okay, so for this, you want it in all directions, and I always put one diagonal just to make sure that I have good adhesion. And I'm trying to do this quickly so that this video is not super long, and you don't get bored. All right, so that's that. And on here, on the big one, you're just going to flip it okay, one last piece of tape. All right, so that's that. And then make sure that your tape is all down. Okay, so next thing is to get our DSP in place. Okay. And this is how it works. So you have one on one side and one on the other side because they're going to go together. Okay? So let's get our designer paper down. And you can actually use glue if you want. Goodness gracious. You want to make sure that you are lined up so it doesn't look funky, and that you have an even amount on all three sides, just like you do when you're doing your cards. Again, your measurements will be ooh, that one's hard to see. Your measurements will be on my blog for everything, including the cuts for the boxes. Well, how did that happen? That's a little long. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little long too. All right, so we trim a little piece off. And there we go. All right. So let's see. I don't know how I managed to cut that too long. But I did. All right, so we're going to get that, and of course I cut it too short. Oh well. Nothing's ever perfect whenever you're doing it live. And this one's short too. Oh my goodness. All right, well, let's get the boxes put together. Let's use our take your pick tool and evidently I did not put that down very well. I'm going to fold that, and this is what you're going to see. You fold that up, fold that up, And then we're going to take our tape off. Well, if I can grab it. Oh my goodness. All right. So then I'm just going to fold my box down. And I want to make sure that my folds are where they're supposed to be. Right with the score line. And that's your first box. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this off, take that off. And again, we're going to fold it, and that way you make sure that you're getting a good flat fold. Give it some pressure so that it adheres. Okay. And this caddy is so wonderful for your clients when they come to have an in-person class, because they can put all of their supplies that they're going to need. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to stick. All of their supplies that they're going to need right there, and they can take it home with them, or you can keep it with their name on it. You can put their name on it, whatever you like. Okay. So again, and this one I made the right size. Okay. I keep saying okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to learn to not do that. It's a habit. Oh, I forgot to. Okay. Let's see. So we've got, this one's going to go on this side, and this one's going to go on this side. All right, let's take off our cover. Trying to stay in screen. Sorry if I go out of screen. Let's see. All right. So now you want to line up your edges. And I'm a little high. A little high. Darn it. All right, we'll add a little more tear tape to where I messed up. How about we do that? And we'll fix that. Okay, let's try that again. And I'm going to lay it down. You can see this is just a little bit of fun. There we go. It's still a little crooked, but it'll suffice for what I'm doing today. You just need to practice and get them on there right. Maybe use glue instead of tear tape. That might help. There you have it. So now you can put your glue in here, your scissors in here, your tear tape in here, and there you have a caddy. And you can put their names across here. Now, I'm not sure why this, I did the measurements proper. I don't know. The first one came out a little too big. This one came out a little too small. But you get the general gist, and I will make sure that the measurements are all correct on my website for you. Again, let's use the January host code, and you will see that you'll get something blingy from me if you order $50 or more and use the January host code. All right, I appreciate you. Let's see. I appreciate you coming to see me and learning about the cards and the caddy, and I will have everything up on my stampscrapgo.com blog for you to see all the measurements, and I'll even embed this video in there. So hopefully, it's a little bit long, but everybody have a wonderful day.